Mantan Web Interview, October 23rd, 2021. Yashahime, translation by Ayuria. Hanyo no Yashahime, the reason the Yashahimes fight, what it means to depict Sesshomaru as a father. The second chapter, director Hishida Masakazu speaks. The continuation of Hanyo no Yashahime. Hanyo no Yashahime, the second chapter, which stars the daughters of Sesshomaru and Inuyasha from Takahashi Rumiko Sensei's popular manga Inuyasha, began in October. In the second chapter, Hishida Masakazu, who is known for series like Pretty Rhythm and King of Prism, serves as the director. Director Hishida has his origins with Sunrise, which produced the Inuyasha series and Hanyo no Yashahime. He himself has a lot of emotional attachment to Inuyasha, as it was the work where he made his production debut. Following the Inuyasha world and the previous work, Hanyo no Yashahime, the first chapter, we asked what he's focused on when depicting the second chapter. Hanyo no Yashahime has a fresh feeling like back when he was a newbie. Hanyo no Yashahime depicts the twin daughters of Sesshomaru and Rin, Towa and Setsuna, and the daughter of Kagome and Inuyasha, Moroha, crossing over time between the modern and feudal era, running rampant as they please. Takahashi Rumiko-san handled the main character design, and Sumisawa Katsuyuki-san oversees the series composition. Just like Inuyasha and Inuyasha the Final Act, it is produced by Sunrise. The first chapter was broadcast from October 2020 to March 2021. In the first chapter, Sato Teruo, who was the assistant director for Inuyasha the Final Act, served as the director. Director Hishida became the director starting from the second chapter. Upon being announced as the new director, he commented that Inuyasha was very memorable to him as it was the work he made his production debut on at his origin, Sunrise, and it was also the work that helped him grow as an anime producer. He looks back on his time working on Inuyasha as I was truly overflowing with motivation. Before Inuyasha, I took part in Turn a Gundam, but my debut didn't happen in Turn a Gundam. Just as I was feeling anguished, they let me debut in Inuyasha, so I'm truly grateful to the work. For Sunrise back then, I think Inuyasha was a type of work they didn't do much of. There was a lot of mecha back then, so having the feudal era as the setting where demons appear and battles being fought with Japanese swords was probably unusual. It was fun. For Hanyo no Yashahime, series composition writer Sumisawa-san, character designer Hishinuma Yoshihito-san, music composer Wadakaru-san, and the staff of the Inuyasha series regathered. Hishida-san says that he's taking a break on the work with the same feeling as when he was a newbie, back when anime Inuyasha started in 2000. At the work site for Hanyo no Yashahime, the main staff of Inuyasha who taught me how to work 20 years ago is still the same as before. All those people are vigorously giving it their all. That's why, when the discussion of being the director was brought up to me, I thought, I want to do this. I think only this work site can give me that fresh feeling of when I was a newbie, so I'm happy. Sesshomaru doesn't show his fatherly side as much as possible following the Inuyasha world. With director Hishida working on the second chapter, he places importance on continuing the course of the first chapter while still staying in line with the Inuyasha world. I feel that the world of Inuyasha must not be destroyed. I always check everything with the world setup of Inuyasha, thinking about how something would play out in Inuyasha, so I get worried every time. I always worry about things like, would this character say something like this? And it's a struggle. However, the Inuyasha know-how is accumulated at the studio and continues to be followed, so I can entrust the storyboard and everything after with ease. Hanyo no Yashahime inherits the world of Inuyasha, but it's a new story where Sesshomaru and Inuyasha's daughters are the stars. The characters that appeared in Inuyasha have changed. What is symbolic is Sesshomaru, who has become a father. In the second chapter, there's a scene that depicts a brief glimpse of Sesshomaru's fatherly side. Actually, I do my best not to show Sesshomaru's fatherly face as much as possible, because it's Sesshomaru. Towa and Setsuna are half-demons born between him and Rin, and he's not the typical father. Even if he does have love for his daughters, Sesshomaru won't show it. However, during recording, Narita Ken-san, who plays Sesshomaru, would always ooze affection in his acting. And we would have to do a retake like, please have more restraint. I truly feel bad for Narita-san. While I do want everyone to listen to Sesshomaru's affectionate voice, I want to place importance on Sesshomaru's way of raising children. The difference between Inuyasha and Hanyo no Yashahime. What is the reason why the Yashahimes fight? In the second chapter, the reason behind the Yashahimes getting separated from their parents and the meaning behind Sesshomaru's actions will gradually be revealed. Director Hishida stated that, of course, the focus of the story is on the three Yashahimes and it is they who will resolve the issues. And I want to make the reason clear as to why the Yashahimes fight. Hanyo no Yashahime exists because of Takahashi Rumiko sensei's original work Inuyasha and the Inuyasha anime. Thus, fundamentally, the aspect of fighting must be placed as the main axis. However, the reason Inuyasha, who's a male, fights, and the reason the Yashahimes, who are female, fight don't equal each other. How to work that part out while having them fight with emotion is very difficult. I think this is a defining difference between Inuyasha and Hanyo no Yashahime. What is the reason why the Yashahimes fight? To be frank, for Toa and Setsuna, it's to save their mother Rin. Regarding Moroha, the reason she fights will become clear to see from here on. The Yashahimes were separated from their parents when they were very young, so they've lost the happy time that normally should have been had. I bet the girls are doing their best to recover that time. Hanyo no Yashahime broadcasts on Saturday evenings and is also an anime geared towards kids. Director Hishida says that he has to make the reason they fight understandable for children as well. There have been works about girls fighting even before the Pretty Cure series, but it became mainstream through Pretty Cure, so you can probably watch without feeling too out of place. Even so, violence is still a last resort. I think it would be great for children to understand that it's not just defeat the enemy. Enemies are defeated because there's proper righteousness and purpose. Director Hishida says that a point worth noting is, the first chapter had a lot of mysteries, but all of them will be resolved, so don't worry. Please look forward to it. You can't miss the future developments to see if the Yashahimes who fight for someone will be able to reach a time of happiness. Be sure to subscribe and follow me on social media to get the latest announcements and news about Inuyasha and Yashahime. We will definitely be following up on any translations, interviews, episode summaries, and cast lists as the episodes release. Stay tuned!